All right, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of 18 minus 1. So I want to find the value of this. So for my solution, I'm going to first start by rewriting this. So I have 2 to the power of 18 minus 1. And to start with, I'm going to ignore the minus 1 and just focus on this 2 to the power of 18. So 2 to the power of 18, this is the same thing as 2 to the power of 9 times 2. And if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is the same thing as a to the power of m to the power of n. So in this case, I have 2 to the power of 9 times 2. And I can rewrite this as 2 to the power of 9 to the power of 2. So now from here, we can add back in the minus 1. So I get 2 to the power of 9 to the power of 2 minus 1. And now 1 is the same thing as 1 squared, right? So I have 2 to the power of 9 to the power of 2 minus 1 to the power of 2. And the reason I rewrote 1 as 1 to the power of 2 is because now I can use this property that states that if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, a is equal to 2 to the power of 9, and b is equal to 1. So I get 2 to the power of 9 plus 1 times 2 to the power of 9 minus 1. So 2 to the power of 9, well, what is the value of that? Well, that's the same thing as 2 times 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 2. So 2 times itself 9 times, right? Which is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 to the power 4 times 2 to the power 4 times 2, right? And we know that 2 to the power 4 is 16. So we get 16 times 16 times 2, which is equal to 256 times 2, which is equal to 512. So 2 to the power of 9 is equal to 512. So now if I substitute in 512 for 2 to the power of 9, I get 512 plus 1 times 512 minus 1. So what's 512 plus 1? That's 513. And 512 minus 1 is 511. So I get 513 times 511. And now this is equal to, well, we don't want to use a calculator for this. And just multiplying this like 513 times 511 is going to take a while. So there is a simpler method to doing this. And to do that, I'm going to rewrite 513 as 500 plus 13 and 511 as 500 plus 11. So I get 500 plus 13 times 500 plus 11. And now I can distribute. So I get 500 squared plus 500 times 11 plus, and distribute 13. So I get 13 times 500 plus 13 times 11. And now 500 squared is the same thing as 500 times 500. So I have 500 times 500 plus 500 times 11 plus 13 times 500 plus 13 times 11. So let's first start on the right hand side and work our way to left hand side. 13 times 11 is 143 plus, now 13 times 500, well 13 times 5 is 65, and then I have my two zeros at the end, so 6500 plus 500 times 11, 5 times 11 is 55, and then I have my two zeros at the end, plus 500 times 500, 5 times 5 is 25, and then I have my four zeros at the end. So I have 250,000 plus 5,500 plus 6,500 plus 143, which is equal to 5,500 plus 6,500 is 12,000, and 250,000 plus 12,000 is 262,000. And now all that's left is 143 at the end. So 262,000 plus 143 is 262,143. So this is my answer.